of Minnesota's U.S. senators toured the U of M today to call attention to President Trump's proposed caps on federal research grants.
A judge has blocked the move temporarily, but school officials say the proposal could have a major impact on life-saving medical research. Danny Spiewak was there today and joins us now. Danny?
Well, Julie and Lauren, the University of Minnesota estimates it could lose more than $100 million in federal funding per year if this proposal were to move forward. Today, they invited the state's 2 senators to see firsthand what type of research could be affected. Some of the University of Minnesota's most advanced medical research happens inside the Cancer and Cardiovascular Research Building.
These are cutting-edge therapies that University of Minnesota is a leader in.
But Professor of Pediatrics David Largaspada says the work in his lab may be at risk after the Trump administration proposed capping funding on a portion of National Institutes of Health grants.
I had 14 people working in my lab, and I thought, you know, if this goes through, that number is going to shrink. We won't be able to do as many projects.
On Thursday, the U hosted a tour with Senators Tina Smith and Amy Klobuchar, who are fighting the proposal, even as a judge put the move on hold in response to lawsuits filed by blue states like Minnesota.
When we go back to Washington, we're going to continue to stand up for NIH-funded trials.
The Trump administration's proposal would put a cap on indirect research costs provided by the NIH, which the White House and congressional allies claim would free up more funding for direct research.
This rhetoric that NIH grants are going to end and that the world is going to spin off its axis, that's all a bunch of nonsense.
But researchers at the U say the indirect overhead costs are vital by funding things like lab equipment and utilities that make the life-saving work possible.
Indirect costs that we get from the NIH are an essential part of doing research here at the University of Minnesota, and we simply wouldn't be able to try as many ideas without this funding.
Smith and Klobuchar said today they believe this NIH funding must be set by Congress, not the executive branch. Now it'll be up to the courts to decide whether the Trump administration's proposal can move forward. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Danny.